but hopefully he'll come back.
Okay.
We're on live.
Oh, hi guys.
He'll be back after station identification.
That's right.
All right, so hey, if you happen to be tuning in to the show, if you're tuning in live, welcome. If you're tuning in and watching this on YouTube or after the fact, this is Stormfront Freaks Raw. We call it Raw, so we're just doing the recording tonight. This isn't the edited show. The fun part sometimes of watching the Raw version is you get everything. You get like, we're still waiting for Gary because he was having some technical issues and he's got to come back, and sometimes you get some strange stuff. So it's kind of a treat. But if you are watching live on YouTube especially, feel free to drop in on the chat and ask questions. If you got questions for Gary, if it fits and makes sense, we'll try and fit those in as well during our conversation with them. And thanks for joining us. So we got Gary England, from Oklahoma. The Oklahoma legend is with us tonight for the second time.
You sound like you're hammered already. Like,
How many of you had so far?
I've had a couple drinks already, I must say. So
He's loosened up now.
Yep,
I guess.
I'm ready to roll.
It's tough getting back to work after you got to do something to cut the edge afterwards after you've been gone for a week, right?
Well, and I'll tell you too, I haven't been that stressed out for I don't know how long.
Really?
Just and the stress not being like, oh my God, there's a tornado there. I never, a little bit on Tuesday, there were times that I was in the Kansas hills while I was again trying to get ahead of it.
Oh, yeah.
That you just saw to your left out west, there's a big hill, and it's pitch black, and all you see on your radar is you see the couplet right next to you, so it's like right there. But I never felt like I was close or in danger, but the stress is just driving, and am I in the right spot, and god darn it, I might pick the wrong spot, and I gotta go here, and oh shoot, am I gonna miss it? I gotta hurry up, I gotta get there because it's happening now. And that, oh god, it was
You make me nervous being by yourself.
I'll tell you what, there were plenty of people around. Number one, it's not like I was by myself. There were plenty of people around, and I thought, well, if I'm going to die, I'm taking a bunch of people with me. So it's all right.
That's the spirit.
You probably get a little more concerned when you're sitting there all by yourself and looking at something and go, there's nobody else here. Wonder why.
Did they leave?
That would probably be more unnerving.
Yeah. That's true. And especially if you knew there was something happening.
Right.
Yeah.
There were times I might have felt that way, and there's no one around me, and I'm like, "Oh, what happened to this thing?"
All of a sudden,
that's why everybody left. There's nothing.
Siren.
Right? Yeah.
Did you send that picture of a tornado that was illuminated by lightning in just one split second of video?
Yeah,
was that you?
Yeah, I think that was him. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool
and scary.
It was kind of twisty.
No, this one was kind of pretty straight.
Well, it was kind of twistery, like from the movie.
Oh, yeah,
where he's looking, and then all of a sudden it lightens up, and he has that look like, whoa. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, that thing was a beast. And afterwards, I almost wish it would have been just a typical tornado, because I think those actually are more photogenic.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get these big EF4 wedges, and all it is just a big ass black cloudy thing barreling at you. But I don't know how photogenic it is. But
what kind of camera were you using?
So I had 3. Now all the ones you've seen were just straight off my iPhone.
Oh, really?
Because I haven't even downloaded. I had a Nikon something or another, so I was taking some good shots with that, but just simple photo shots. And then I was using my GoPro to do time lapse.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I had it set too fast, because the videos were like, and then it was done. I was like, wow, that was a little too quick. I need to slow that down. But
you haven't heard from Gary, have you?
I have not. I'll maybe give him a call though here.
He did remember it's Eastern time, right?
I'm a little worried. No, he was on, and
he was on once. Yeah.
He wasn't in his camera.
We sent him away to reboot, and now he's not come back.
And we did his test last night, and it was fine. So, I mean, it took a while,
mm-hmm.
because we were trying some different things that weren't working. But
I hear ringing.
I do. I hear it too.
It's like the weirdest tinnitus I've ever had.
Either that or we're talking about Phil's chase day.
You've reached Gary's voicemail.
okay.
See, we've got to do a whole Stormfront Freaks
You did what?
chase day.
Well, we could
that
go
would
to
be
Dayton.
So you
fun.
downloaded that
I'd go.
same link, and now it's saying you can't. Are you signed into Google? That to me might be the reason why it's saying you're not allowed to join.
Uh-oh, Gary's having trouble. So Kim's off tonight. Brady.
He's probably flying.
Yeah,
Brady's,
Yeah.
I'm sure,
Is
flying.
Brady
what
always.
settings are you using?
Is
The
Brady
He's-
coming back
settings?
lately at all?
He's kind of on hiatus, I think, until
Is he?
Like,
Yeah.
are you on Hangouts? Are you using
He's
Google
bathing his
Hangouts
cat.
right now, or it's saying you can't
right,
connect?
right.
Hugging the cat.
Okay.
I do miss Brady though. As much
Yeah,
crap
for
as I
sure.
give that kid.
He is a good guy.
I know. I do love Brady.
Okay.
I wanted him to come down to Atlanta and
Chrome browser.
see if he was interested in coming down here.
Be there
Just
in
Mm.
2 weeks.
Close out of your
Oh, he is.
browser.
You
No,
are.
I will.
Yeah, you are.
Between 2 to
Did
3.
you copy?
That's
did
right.
you
Oh, okay.
copy the-
Yeah, because me
copy
and
the
Kim
link?
want to go out and have drinks or something.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead
And my
and-
wife will be up for that. She's like, really?
Just back to
Okay,
your
yeah,
plain
let's
old
go
computer
drink.
screen,
She's
right?
she'd be like, yeah, I
Okay,
want to go out
so
drinking with
go
2
ahead
other
and-
women.
and go
Let's
back
go.
to
She's like,
email I
woohoo.
sent you.
Maybe I can get
Link.
Chad Myers from CNN to come out too.
Oh, okay.
That'd be
Just
fun.
kind of walk me through. Tell me what happened.
I
forgot
think
to call
we've
him.
met in passing, but we don't know each other very well.
Good. Just go
Well,
ahead.
now
and click
you'll
on
know
that
him well.
link
Maybe
again
like
and
a
tell me what
party.
happens. Walk me through what happens when you click on the email link I sent.
It's amazing how many people have gone between the Weather Channel and CNN.
Really?
Yeah.
It's warm in here. You know, my air conditioning has been out for a week now.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
not good.
Yeah, I actually had, I checked it with my indoor weather.
You were breaking up there, Gary. I'm sorry.
And it was
What'd you ask?
heat index of 91.4 upstairs in the.
Oh,
in the
jeez.
room. I
There's-
was like,
There's
so
a company I drive by. I
Sure.
don't know what
I
it
mean,
is.
that's a
if
Gmail
it's like
account, so that
landscaping
should
or
be
something,
okay.
but they always have the funniest quotes on the sign as you go by. And today was like, who turned the temperature up to hell?
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Right.
Yeah.
What?
I just thought it was so
When
funny.
I
They
sent you
have
the
such good
email
ones. They had
last
one
night
that said,
link, and you clicked on it,
pollen,
it just opened
when
up
flowers
for you, right?
can't keep it in their plants. Like every day I go by and there's something funny. But
Something
today
up
when
on
I
that,
saw the temperature was at hell, I was like, oh my God. I mean, in my car, you know how you have the temperature gauge in your car, it was like 95.
Oh,
Like,
God.
oh, I am not a hot weather person. I live in the South and people say they're down in the South.
What,
Oh, I love it hot. I love it hot. I don't.
Let me get your email
Yeah.
address again. 'Cause
Counting the
it
days
sounds
to
like you're
October.
logging
Atlanta,
on
that's-
maybe with a different email than what I sent it to.
Already?
Hotlanta, yeah. I mean, luckily it hasn't been extremely humid,
that's
but I mean,
the-
we had Memorial
So why don't
Day.
you log out,
hot.
click it again, and then see
Wow.
if it'll let you sign in on that on your Cox.net one.
Come to Minnesota. You want cool weather. We've been really cool.
Have you? Yeah.
Yes.
I
So
do
click
like
on it
cool weather.
again and just tell me
Except
what
today
the
now
first
it got
screen
to
says.
82.
Did it? Were you guys all sweltering?
Well, it felt pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Did you see the 3-month outlook?
Tell
I
me.
saw.
Below normal temps
Yeah.
for the plains.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
Like, wow.
And still, I think. Well, I was just looking at
Yeah,
this
and hot on
thing
the
out
coast,
with the
right?
precip, and
Yeah.
there's more rain where the like the Arkansas River and everything. I'm like, oh, geez, those poor people can't get a break. And then
I
what was
wonder-
it? There was
Let me
in
do
Texas
this. I'm gonna
today.
see if I can have
I'm trying to think.
MJ Mark send you
This town got hit twice by a tornado within
invite.
2 hours.
uh,
Really?
remember the
That was
name.
today?
Yeah. Well, yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Because I was looking at the storm reports today, and I'm trying to remember the name of the town. But we actually, and it was the same coordinates. So we're like, was it a repeat? But it was 2 hours apart. And then we started looking at the radar. I'm like, yeah, it's 2 days. I'm like, how the hell do you get hit twice?
Yeah.
It was like in 3 something o'clock in the afternoon and 5 something. So it was 2 hours apart.
You know, that second time the sirens went off, everyone was
MJ,
really freaking out.
Yeah, I bet.
So Mark's gonna use your Cox email and
oh, don't start that.
I know. You know I don't get a lot of sleep.
His end.
I don't miss those days at all.
Oh, it's rough. Yeah.
Okay, I sent the invite, Phil.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
I sent the invite.
Okay, no, it's MJ. MJ said Mark just said he sent you an invite. So now Mark, does that come across as an email to him, or does that come across a different? Do you know?
I don't know. It should be. Let's see. It's an email address, so it should come across as an email.
Either that or like the Google chat.
Said,
you know how you have
it could come that
left?
way because it said it posted is what it said.
Because when I did Weather Brains, they sent it as a chat.
Okay.
So when I was in my email, I saw it kind of pop up to the left.
Oh,
yeah. I'm thinking you're not signed in right now under your Gary. Under that email. I think
People
you're
are
signed
like,
in under
right.
your Oklahoma whatever email. Well, but you maybe had already
How's
been
the weather been at your
up.
place,
You had already
Matt?
been logged in that way, and if you said
Well,
we've
we've had a lot of
things
storms.
today,
Yeah.
I'm trying to do
that
date night
maybe
tomorrow night with
reset
my
it.
wife out having dinner
so go to
along
your
the river.
browser
Yeah.
and pull
And
up,
it was
just pull up
Weather Underground
Google.com.
said 0% chance of rain,
Uh-oh.
and now it's up to 50.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, darn it. So I think we'll be able to go have
And
dinner
just
out.
go to Google.com.
That's the only
and
thing with like the
should
hourlies
be
and stuff on
something
that.
here. Let me
They
just
update
see what
so
I'm going
often,
into.
and
Oh yeah.
different
I
model
know what
comes
I'm
in,
looking
it's
at.
changing, it flip flops. People
Well,
ask me about that all the time.
Which model
There
are they using?
should be, if you look in
It's
the
a combination.
upper
I mean,
right-hand corner,
for the Weather Channel
there
app,
should be a little
it's
circle
our model,
with
but
maybe your
it's
picture or
it
your
depends
initial
on
or
timing.
something.
Like long term, it's a blend between the Euro and the
Just put
GFS.
your mouse
Um,
over that,
And the short term, it's
and
got the
it should tell you
her
what your Google
and
account
the
is and what email
RPM.
address
It's all a
you're using.
mix, but we take all the models and made our own.
Hmm.
And we have a new one too that we made. A lot of people do math way better than me.
So click on that. Click on that little
And me,
circle
I
Make
hear
these
you.
models. Yeah, they have like a
and see
you
if
know,
it gives you a drop down
a
of
weather
other
company model.
logins that you could
I haven't
use.
seen it anywhere yet except for us, but
Hey, just a quick break in here for all of our folks that are watching us here. We're having a little technical difficulty getting our guest on, so hang in there.
So, yeah,
we're
everyone.
shooting the
I
breeze.
don't have a
Click on
fun
your
screen to put up
Cox.net
that says, remember
email.
those when they we had
Yeah.
technical
Or
difficulties?
option,
Please
and then
stand
see
by.
if it'll
Please
let you
stand,
log
that's
in
right.
Oh,
under
yeah,
that.
that's it.
Hang in there. We'll be on shortly.
We don't have any music like that. Dun, dun.
I know. Oh yeah, dude, you remember everything, man.
No, they just have to listen to us talk.
No,
I'm-
and I'm
I'm-
trying not to yawn all the time.
I am the oldest one here. So I'd let you know.
Yeah, just barely.
Well, that's a nice change because at work I am the oldest one most of the time.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm around millennials, and it's
Well-
funny because I get on them, but they'll complain about so much stuff, and like they'll bring in food for free, and there's a complaint. I'm like, you guys, it's
It's
free.
free.
It's letting you
That's right.
sign in
Really.
with your Cox.net email.
I remember a boss we
That's
had
not
like
even
when I
an
was
option?
younger. He said, "I do stuff for you guys. I sign your paychecks. Stop
Yeah,
complaining."
that's right.
Don't you, okay.
And you
So
were
what
thankful.
happens?
Yeah,
so
I was like,
let's
yes, sir.
look back at that Google.com page, the search page.
Yeah, it's been really hot and
And you go
humid
up to
here.
that circle
Yeah.
with the
like
G
crazy.
on it.
This is like
I
the
mean,
first day
it's
was.
just like you
click
guys
on
when
it.
you
What
in
pulls
Ohio,
up
like
when
you
you
guys are
click
right
on
at
the
the top
circle?
of the ridge.
Mhm.
All that stuff's rolling right over you. It's missing us. We're not getting anything. Like we were in a rainy pattern for the longest time. Now we're in the bubble of
Yep.
high pressure. It's going to ease up a little bit, but
Mm.
I mean, from 98 to like 90.
Okay,
Or
let me
89,
try
it's
this.
not
So give me that
something, but
other
not
Gmail
much.
account you're using.
We're not going to let up till October.
Oh.
I'm going to piss and moan about it the whole time. And it's funny because, like, for me and my
I'm
coworkers,
gonna
we're in
send-
air
do you have
conditioning
access
all
to
the
that
time,
email
so I
address?
can't take the heat. I fainted a couple times in the heat.
So
Wow.
let me try sending the link to that
Boom,
one
down,
Were you inside or outside?
out.
and see if when you click on it from that
Drinking
email,
beer in the
maybe it'll
heat,
be a little different.
not a good idea.
Oh,
Worst
yeah, that'll do it
Being
to
in
you.
the heat in general,
Definitely don't drink champagne in the heat.
no.
Oh man.
My husband can take it because he's always in the heat. But if you're in an air conditioning
right, so I
room
just
all
sent
day
that
long,
to
where you almost need a
Gmail
sweater and
account.
it's hot outside,
Mm-hmm.
then you go out, you're like, oh,
That
I
shouldn't
can't
matter
take it. I'm
because
gonna
you were
die.
able to get on when I sent it to your Cox.
Yeah,
one
our office
last
is
night.
60 degrees. We actually pulled out coats.
I have been in TV stations where I'm like, what the hell's going on
I'm
in
gonna
here?
ask
I
Mark if
need
he's
a
got any
parka
idea.
because
Hey,
the heat met doesn't
hey,
want to sweat, and he's a guy.
Sorry,
And
I'm
he's
going to
gotta go
interrupt for a
nothing.
second.
Yep. Phil.
Sounds like good conversation, but
Yeah, right.
so he's basically when he's clicking on the link,
Yeah.
it's pulling up Hangouts, and he can see us, but there's still a little firewall that says you do not have permission to join this Hangout. Any idea what that would be?
No.
He has. Is he logged into like Gmail?
He actually is. Yes.
If he is, he should be able to click the link and just go straight in.
Yeah, he's not using the view only link, is he?
Oh, maybe.
Ah,
There isn't a view only link.
Well, there is
for everybody else.
Yeah, Google
everybody
Chat there
else,
is.
Right.
You got to grab the one off the secret page. Where you go to? Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Can't say it's loud.
I thought
Top secret CIA.
what.
The one that I post, when
Yeah,
I
right.
slap it up there on that, does he have that one?
Yeah, that's the one I sent him, but I'll.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh.
I'll send it again if.
Yeah, it's because none of you are in the. It's not like I can, because sometimes that problem happens.
You can see. Okay.
Yeah, I'll wait because now he's talking to him.
But when you join, it says you can't join. I do not know why it would do that.
Why would?
C5 MixOQ.
Can
I think he
he?
got into it yesterday.
Well, he got into it earlier today.
Did he?
Yeah, we just couldn't get his video. We had his
I don't know
audio.
why all of a sudden that would change? Because all you did was you just reboot your computer, right?
Yeah, it's no different.
Hmm.
Because we haven't changed it since that happened.
This my email didn't go to you, Gary.
I got the email for the Gmail.
Oh, you did?
I do have it.
Oh, it came back invalid address to me.
Are you giving him a different? Is he trying a different address?
The OKI. Mark? What'd you say?
Is he trying a different address than his GaryE@Cox.net? Because if he's trying a different one, let me try sending him an invite to that address.
Yeah, say that.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Hey,
There he is.
I did it again. Hey,
Yeah.
look back, throw me down.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna hang
Yeah.
up.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Second. Shit. Okay, let's rock and roll.
That'll work. That'll work, Gary. Good to have you on, my brother, my
love
man.
We love it.
Lord, I'm gonna have to go back to school and get an engineering degree. Okay, is this mic working?
No, it is not.
Okay.
But you could try if you want. You can try those settings.
That might work this time.
Go up to the little gear icon at
You can't hear
the
it
top
now.
of the screen.
Okay, all
yeah,
it
you
says
can.
is lie. Oh, I don't see it. It says, oh, there it is.
It should be in the middle now, probably.
Settings,
What does it say for speakers
speakers.
or microphone?
See the speakers. Speakers says it's Realtek. I don't have that.
That's
That's
your
your
audio
laptop.
part, but yeah, for your
To give me the choices of the Realtek, then Realtek high definition,
Yeah.
speakers Realtek.
Is your microphone plugged in? The one you just had on your headset?
It is.
If it's plugged in, it should recognize it. If it's not plugged in, it won't recognize it.
Yeah, we tried that last night and that wasn't working.
Run.
So yeah, Gary, let's go ahead. We talked about that last night. You're fine. You sound good.
We got at least 6 minutes left. You're good.
We're done with our beers already.
So I gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, you go.
Yeah, you take care of that.
We haven't started yet.
No, we're not.
If you gotta go, you go.
No, I'm kidding you.
Okay. Okay. So I think we're all ready to roll. So Gary, here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna do a quick little intro to the show. If you recall, we introduced all of our co-hosts by asking them what are they drinking tonight. Kind of lets people know we're laid back and having fun here. And then I'm gonna have Dina give your introduction.
Okay.
And we'll just get to some questions and answers. I'm going to take a break about 20 minutes into it or so. And then we'll come back with a few more questions and answers, and we'll play lightning round.
Okay.
You're going to like this one. I got a fun game we're going to play tonight, sir.
Drinking game?
No, that's what we did last time. This is a little different this time.
New this time, yeah.
Yeah, we got to do something different this time. So you'll like it. It has something to do with Oklahoma food.
Okay.
and then I'll take another break, and we'll let you go after that.
I like your office. Very nice, Gary.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Are you good to go, sir?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Let's do this. We'll get rolling. All right, I'm going to count myself in. I'll figure out my sound effects are here. All right, in 3, 2. Hey, welcome everybody to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast. We always like to tell you if you're a first-time listener, so if you happen to be stopping by for the first time, thanks for coming. Be sure to check out stormfrontfreaks.com to access our library of all of our previous shows and famous guests from the weather industry, like TV meteorologist Jim Cantori and James Spann. But tonight, this is episode 80. It's the big 80. Yeah. And we are excited to be joined by our two-time guest now. It's Oklahoma TV legend Gary England is with us tonight. So thanks for coming back, Gary.
Yeah.
We're also going to have fun playing our lightning round game show, and don't miss our exclusive tornado talk and tracker check segment. Tracker check. It's not tracker check. It's tracker chat segments.
Cracker Jack.
It could be that too.
Drinking.
It could be that as well. Hey, as well as our fan favorite, you guys got to stick around for our hashtag Weather Fools. But before we get to all of that, we always like to introduce our co-hosts. So you put a name to the voice and find out what they're drinking. It's always happy hour here. So we're going to start off with MJ. MJ, pony up to the bar. What are you drinking tonight?
I've gone to my old standby Captain and Coke tonight.
Oh, all right.
It's a big cup again.
All glass.
Everybody's going to be drunk before the show is over.
That's good. We'll take it. Maz, what are you drinking tonight,
I'm
sir?
back to the Guinness Extra Stout.
Whoa.
Nice. Heavy.
And I'm already sweating. I'm like, the air conditioning's out. And I'm like, wow.
Turn the air
what the heck?
conditioning up.
Yeah.
More beer,
It's the
more
bright
beer.
lights. Bright lights. Dina, what are you drinking tonight? Welcome back.
Good old-fashioned American Budweiser.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, America.
America beer. That's good. Hey, Gary, I'll ask you. You should probably want to be drinking something, I'd imagine, right now. Are you drinking anything?
I've done a little bit of whiskey and sour milk. No. Merlot, baby. Merlot. I love Merlot.
All right.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Gary, we're going to do this. I'm going to let Dina give you a nice formal introduction. Go ahead, Dina.
All right, Gary England, former chief meteorologist at KWTV News 9 in Oklahoma City, a former guest on episode 32, and it's episode 80 now. Oklahoma weather icon. Gary England is the vice president for corporate relations and weather development at Griffin Communications. England has been with KWTV News 9 for over 40 years. Wow. A recipient of numerous awards and honors, including 3 Emmys. Gary England is Oklahoma's top-rated television meteorologist. He's an internationally recognized authority in severe weather and holds the distinction of being the person who implemented with Enterprise Electronics, the world's first commercial Doppler radar.
Nice.
Woo! And when Gary's here, I get so excited because I feel like I should have one of those big hats like you have at the football game with the big foam finger that's like, Gary!
Well, you can have those like the Arkansas Razorbacks have. Looks like a hog and oinks.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, hey, Gary's here. But now, when you were here last time, we talked a lot about when you were with KWTV, but can you tell us a little bit about like what you do with Griffin Communications? Because you like got a fancy title now, Vice President.
Well, I need to send you a new bio because I don't do that anymore.
Oh no!
That's probably on me because I quick pulled up your bio from 2 years ago when you were on last time. So
a lot's changed.
What's up, Gary?
So what's going on?
I don't have anything to do with Griffin anymore. He and I got a divorce.
Hey, did you get
Amicable,
the house? That's
hopefully.
what's important.
Yeah,
the
I got
cat.
the door. I got the door.
Right.
Oh.
No.
Yeah. And the mine shaft.
Well,
And the mine shaft.
you know, I was doing that. Then I left and went down to OU for a bit. Got to work at OU for three years.
Really?
4 years, yeah. And put together tornado and safety visuals and tapes, and did a lot of fantastic stuff on any type of weather you can imagine, hurricanes and such. And it's pretty good stuff. It's still on there. But did that, I guess, 4 years, maybe 4 years. And my granddaughter graduated. She graduated, and I quit.
Wow.
So finally, I'm retired.
Oh, good for you, though.
What'd she graduate with?
Her son and brother.
No. What degree?
It's in public relations.
Man, you got me on that one.
Well, Gary, do this because we talked a little bit about this last night. So you still have your foot in severe weather in Oklahoma City area. How are you doing that? How are you involved? Tell our listeners how you're getting in on social media and everything.
Part of I only deal with right here in the metro, Oklahoma City metro. The state is too big to deal, and there's no time. You can't do it all. But I go on Facebook and Twitter, and anytime there's a storm that blows up, it looks severe, going severe, and develops a mesocyclone, then I'll start sending messages out on Facebook and Twitter, where it is and where it's going, and a very calm, it's north of the 122nd and west of Council Road, whatever. Give them a little box of where it is, that type of thing. And one thing I sent out the other day was just kind of an update. They got 150,000 views.
Wow.
So it's a good bunch of people out there. And it's all the ones that depend on me all these years. And, I don't have time to do all of it, but it's great fun. They seem to appreciate it. And so I guess I'll keep doing it a little bit. But I don't use the camera and all that. You can see I could never be able to get it done.
So what kind of information are you sharing with them? Are you showing pictures of anything? No. Okay? And how are you finding this out? Are you jumping on your radar, or what are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm tapped into everything.
You
so
are.
I know what's going on, where it is, and the Weather Service here is really, really good at passing out good information. So I tell them basically what people want to know about a storm. Where is it? How bad is it? When is it going to get to my house? And what's it going to do to me? That's really what they want. But everybody gets kind of carried away down there. Nowadays, not everybody, but some, and it gets kind of wild and crazy. But I just try to tell them where it is, how strong is it, what time it's going to get to their house, and what it might do to them. And it seems to take care of a lot of people.
At your level, Gary, did the Weather Service give you their old Nexrad to put on the roof there? Or?
Well, we're close, but not that close. Yeah, I use the various services for the radar, and I've got that one from Norman. It's pretty darn good, Storm Scope. And so, I got lots of stuff. Actually, I got almost everything they had at Channel 9, which really is a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's got to be amazing what right now today, the general public, what we have access to with all the models and radar and everything else that, back in the day, didn't even have access to some of that stuff yourself.
That's
the
true.
station, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But nowadays I can be out playing golf, and people will say, somebody will ask, "Is it going to rain tomorrow?" And before I can even open my mouth, they all pull out their phones and look at it. So you really don't need a meteorologist to forecast the weather every day. Everybody's got it in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Warnings are a little bit hesitant to go ahead and definitely use that.
Mm-hmm.
But in Oklahoma at least, everybody's an expert in weather.
I bet you have to be. At least you have to know who you want to go to and who you want to listen to.
Yeah, and this too, they have started taking responsibility for themselves instead of depending on someone else to take care of it. But they have a lot of sources. The Weather Service is sending out a lot of stuff to TV stations, and then there's 2 or 3 people in town here do use the internet to broadcast. They have broadcast studios, and they do a darn good job. And mine is a little bit different. I just send them out some text messages, and that's about it. I'm afraid if I do much more than they expect me to do it every time, that's probably not going to happen.
The more you do, the more they want.
Pardon me?
The more you do, the more they're going to want.
That's right. The more I do for my wife, the more she wants.
I like her.
Yeah. It's great to be able to sit here at home and see a TVS pop up or whatever. I get them as faster, and I got them at Channel 9. And it's amazing. If I had all this stuff when I was in television, I would have really been good,
Have you noticed now, like all the drone footage of tornadoes, how incredible they look?
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
In 2013, one of the things I did at OU, I participated in our drone meetings, and I spoke to the International Drone Conference there. And, all these PhDs, and some of them kind of weird, man. One came, great guys. One of my first meetings, I'm looking out the window before it starts, and I see this dude, real tall, skinny dude, white hair in the air, and the wind's blowing about 30, and he's carrying a drone that's bigger than him. And he just is staggering through there. I thought, he's probably coming here. And I was right, he did. But so I went to all those meetings. I knew what was coming, even though there were problems at that time. You had to have a pilot, you had to do all those things, keep it in sight. But I went and told my boss at Channel 9, I said, listen, let me tell you what's coming. Let's see, drones. He said, no, they're not.
Oh, really?
I have an attorney in Washington, and he tells me blah, 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 blah. I said, but he's wrong.
Yeah.
That's probably
that's
probably the future of storm chasing. It's just going to be drones, and that'll be chaser convergence on a different level.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be having little airplane crashes together.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, with the drones. Guy, it's amazing. The video is absolutely fantastic. It lets you see things you couldn't ordinarily see. And then we just need to get a few more drones out when the tornadoes are going by. And because the video is so good. It's so great. Well, revolution.
Tell me about this, Gary. So when you were at the station, do you remember what year it was you guys started having storm chasers out in the field, sending you, whether it was video, maybe it was just on the phone initially, but when did that start, that stations were using chasers?
Well, we did that ever since I went there, 1972.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
we used station employees.
Photographer.
Yeah. We'd give them a camera and go out there and
go out and take a camera with you and go get some video.
we sent the marketing department, all that stuff, because the radars. Yeah, and it was great because all the news people. And then about 1990, and in that meeting time, we got remote trucks, sent them out chasing the storm. That was a long time ago. We had a huge satellite dish on an 18-wheeler. It's a big sucker. We called it the death wagon because you got on a narrow road, you couldn't turn around.
The death wagon.
It wasn't a thing. But we had those. But when really the storm chasing started, a guy came to me, Val Castro came to me, and he said, he wanted to be a storm chaser. And I tried that, and they wouldn't hire him. I said, no, we don't want to do that. That won't ever happen. So I got him hired as a station cameraman, floor cameraman. And then the first storm that came along, that was in 1991. Next storm came along, I gave him the camera and a cell phone or what it was, and off he went. And he got his first video, and that's how it kind of started.
Was that live video at the time?
No, it wasn't live.
Okay.
What we had developed very quickly, very, very soon. I don't remember the years, but we took an old security system out of Australia that took high resolution black and whites, about every 3 seconds. And they converted that over to where we worked at the television station. So we had that for quite some time, a few years. And they got great shots. It was like people had never seen before. And then we started working on the color end of it when the telephone thing came along. Don't remember the year, but it was a long time ago. But after 91, all that started just growing one thing after another. And the the color video, and then the live trucks and the live shooting from the guys. And nowadays, it's just phenomenal, the equipment they have. You know, they can just shoot from anywhere, anytime, any place. And so, but that started a long time ago.
And what was the benefit? Well, I mean, what did you see as the benefit being able to access that, whether you had them initially on the phone, calling in live, or once you started getting video?
Either video or just a person. Phone reports were very good because the radars were okay, but they weren't great in those days. Mm-hmm. And it was really a confirmation. Mm-hmm. We had a guy actually there saying, yeah, there's a tornado. In the past, we'd say there's a tornado indicated by radar. We think this is where it's at. Yeah. But getting people out there, and people liked it. And it's kind of got a little bit overblown now. There's so many people, it's almost it is dangerous out there. Mm-hmm. But the benefit was you got somebody in the field who's kind of an authority, and they say, yeah, there it is, baby, there it is. And the public loved it.
From all that to like 4K drones. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's just amazing. Yeah. God, oh, Frank, can I have a beer?
No drinking and flying.
Yeah, drinking and flying, got that.
So what do you remember then, like the first time, do you remember the first tornado that you guys broadcast live on TV? Like, was that a memorable moment for you to go, wow, there it really is. Here it is, folks. And you were telling people about it?
Yep, it's 1981. And it was a station helicopter. We had one of those little choppers kind of goes, it was small, had the pilot and had a photographer and a reporter on that thing. And they went out west. We had reported a tornado near a town in western Oklahoma. And there wasn't even a thunderstorm there. I thought, my God, our radar's broken, because this guy, we called out, and we didn't call, but finally this guy called in. And he said, Gary, that tornado you're saying is at Cordell is actually in my back 160 yards acres out here. And it was in his field behind his house. So whoever called it in was in the wrong place. And we finally figured out where it was. And we sent the helicopter out there for the first time. And the video was like this. And they flew out there, and it's a big old LP, man. God, it was beautiful. Huh. You see the whole thing twisting. You see the wall cloud, see the funnel like this. Hell, they didn't know. Excuse my language. They just flew that thing right in there, and they got caught in the inflow.
Oh
no! That little chopper couldn't handle it. They laid it. I talked to the pilot later. He said, "What he did, he flew." They got good video though. He flew protect the video. They turned that little chopper on its side and pulled out onto the left. And he said probably another 3 or 4 seconds they'd been gone. They'd been in the tornado.
Oh, jeez.
And then coming back, he had to land on the interstate twice because of the weather. But anyway, that was the first time.
He had to change his pants.
That was the day.
Change his pants. Yeah.
That was the day of the Bingler tornado. F4.
Oh yeah.
It was a hog, man.
Wow.
So that was the first time. Then it all kind of progressed, and we sent the helicopter a lot, but bad like that. And then we finally got cameras up there that shook too. But most of it I have notes on. But it was quite a trip. At the time, we didn't really know we were doing some good things.
So I'm seeing in the background the Twister poster back there. So when you were doing the movie and you were talking on air about the tornado, were you like channeling a previous tornado warning, or what were you visualizing? What were you even thinking about when you were doing that?
When I was doing it on the live stuff there.
Yeah.
And I did some live voice, which we recorded. We tried to record the warning stuff, got everybody in position, and we practiced, tried all Sunday afternoon into the Sunday night, and it didn't really work. But Kathleen Kennedy, who did Schindler's List, she was in charge of that movie, and she said, "I really like that video you have." She said, "You can't beat the real thing."
Yeah.
So that was from I forgot what year that was from. I think 1981 also.
Okay.
And so that's where that came from, and it was quite a trip.
That had to be amazing. I love hearing your stories, especially about how like weather has evolved over the years. I mean, you've been in it 40 years.
Yeah.
I guess, I think I might have asked you this in the past, but like, what's probably the number one thing you could tell somebody and how to last in this business? That's a tough one. I know.
Formaldehyde, right?
Right.
Got anybody in there that's on television?
Ass kissing? I don't know.
I can tell you, and I believe this, all people in television get fired eventually.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always tell guys when I hire them, I said, now, management's going to love you as long as you're doing a good job. And you're going to think they're your friends. Well, they're not. They're going to use you until you don't look good or whatever, and they're going to get rid of you. That happens all the time everywhere. So how do you maintain it? I think what helped me maintain it was having some really good people around me. One was Jerry Dalrymple, who worked with me hand in hand. And, you know, some great meteorologists, some really bad meteorologists too, but some good ones. And we started building that core of storm chasers. And people really got depending on that. And that's one thing we did was just we provided great forecasts and great storm forecasting, and it was consistent. There's more than once I flew home from California, my daughter's house, because it was going to storm in Oklahoma. I had to come back. I would never be away. I was there for every storm. So that was part of it. The other part is, you know, when you look at the camera, be friendly. And when you nod your head, you want all of them at home going, yeah. And so you got to be warm and friendly. You got to get every information. But a guy put it to me when I first went to Channel 9. He said, Gary, meteorology is this way. He said, picture a fence, and you're out there walking on this wooden fence. And he said, on one side is all meteorology. The other side is all fun and laughter. He said, you fall over either side, you lose. He said, you have to balance them. You have to be warm and all that stuff. But we also did a show called Those Terrible Twisters. We did it for 20 years. And we had as many as 15,000 come to those shows. And that started way back. And we held them
It was
in
a live audience, like a studio audience?
Like, oh, you bet. We wouldn't do it.
Wow.
They were live. If we went to Lindsay, Oklahoma, where they hold 2,500, that's about what would show up. And it was well produced. You can imagine, place is full, people are excited, and you hear the helicopter on a good night when they'd come right over the place, almost vibrate the roof, and they'd land, and the spotlight would come on the helicopter out there, and Roger Cooper would get out of the helicopter, walk out and open the other door, and Patty Suarez put her leg out and was high heels, and she just darling, God, she's darling, and she would just walk in there, and the place was going nuts by then. So that was part of the entry. And then we ran a song, for example, I'm going too long on this, but we had a song ran that was called The Best. You still hear it in some commercials. God, it was great. And the drums are beating. We had great sound systems. The screen was like 30 feet across. Oh, my God.
Wow.
And we were cheering and going on, but we were making friends. We were talking to all our our current viewers and future viewers. And we did it all the schools. We went to have it at Enid, Oklahoma. We went to all the elementary schools that morning and gave them awards for top students and told them to go home and say, you make sure your parents come to this thing tonight.
Right.
So we had ungodly crowds, man. And there was a lot of psychology in everything we did. The Terrible Twisters thing was big, 20 years, but then, then tornado pictures were everywhere.
Yeah.
And but let me say what we do that Twister show. Come on. After some introduction, and tell the folks, whatever it is, blah blah blah. We love you. We're gonna be here, and then you'd show them some stuff. It just scare the pants right off of them. And after you did that, you'd come back and say, tell them about safety precautions, have a little fun, a few jokes. So the whole show was like a really rough and tumble video, and having fun, safety precautions, and the whole show was like that, and it worked really really well. And people come up to me now. I came to your show back there in 1998 or something like that. It's crazy. They went and they loved it. That worked. What else worked was I didn't like news directors too well.
Sorry, did I laugh out loud?
You understand, don't you? But I always felt like I had better judgment than they did. And there's some really good news directors, there's some really bad ones. But at some point, X number of years ago, quite a few, I just told the boss, I said, you know what? I'm not going to sign another contract where I have to work for a news director. So they gave me, they own department. I was in charge of all weather at the station, whether it was a show or whether it was a tornado warnings. I decided when we went on air, when we closed off, all that stuff. And they gave me a little too much power, probably. But you know what I mean? Yeah. And because I really did what I wanted to. And so there was some conflicts along those there, but it was so like I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to work anymore doing this. So they gave me a new title and stuff. And so I was in that position for X number of years. So I think that combination of things, and let me tell you also, I think my last year at Channel 9, 2013 when I was active. I went to like 30 some or 38 schools and clubs, and a lot of times I'd go to a school of a morning. I'd go to some kind of adults meeting at noon, then I go back maybe a parents deal or what. Sometimes I do 3 of those a day because I knew they'd all grow up and have and watch my TV. So it was a lot of that. I was constant out there, man. Constant. You had to be out with folks. It's made a difference.
Wow.
Very fortunate.
Well, hey, freaks, you've heard me talk about the Atmosphere Weather app. The makers of Atmosphere Weather, they've actually designed another weather app that's going to make you wonder why no one ever thought of this, which is great. It's called the Drive Weather app. And what it is, it's an easy way of looking at the entire forecast for a road trip or a long commute. It allows drivers to easily and quickly know what the forecast calls for along a route and lets the user change the times to see the changing weather and find the safest time to leave, which is great. Personally, I love this app, guys. I use this on multiple trips this past winter to figure out when's going to be the best time to leave to avoid most of the snow along my route, which is great. But you can see precipitation, winds, temps, radar. It literally takes seconds to see the weather for an entire trip, and it can't be simpler. If you've got any summer trips planned on the road, whether you're taking your family somewhere, maybe it's a motorcycle tour, the Drive Weather app will keep you safe with just a few seconds. So learn more and get your free trial at Drive Weather app with 2 P's, driveweatherapp.com, and you can download it on iOS and Android. So we're going to take a short break. Go ahead and refill your drink and check out Tracker Chat with the Tornado Trackers as they talk about storm chasing etiquette. We'll be right back, everybody. Hold tight. All right, yeah, we were looking at your forehead for a while there. It was looking good.
Ugly forehead. At least it wasn't my nose.
Right up the nose, right up the schnoz.
That was good.
German noses.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and kind of come right back. I do have another question I wanted to ask you.
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
I've got
yeah, do you have anything from the
I got
viewers
a viewer question wants to know if he has, and so he can think about it, Gary. Any thoughts on all the activity we've had here over the past couple of weeks, and how that compares? So I'll ask you about that.
Okay. Anybody else who's on? Do we want to do a shout out to anybody that's on tonight that you noticed that's chatting?
No, we got Christy. Well, I hate to do it because we missed somebody, that we've got, but Parker Braxton, Christine, Danny.
Are the German people on?
Yes, Timothy.
Good, yeah.
So our all our fans, and a couple new folks too.
Oh, good.
Crew and so there you go. How's that?
Good. All right, so let's do this. We'll come back. We got a couple more questions for you, Gary. Then we'll do your lightning round, okay? And take a final break.
Did I talk too long?
No, that was good. No, the reason we have
no.
you on, Gary, is your stories are fun.
I'd like to tell you some of the really good ones.
Oh, bring it, baby, bring it. Okay.
Yes, bring up that one we talked about last night.
Okay, I was going to bring up the trolls, the trolling. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. So that'll be my first question.
Okay.
All right, so coming back in 3, 2. Hey, welcome back, everybody. So we're here with legendary Oklahoma meteorologist Gary England. And Gary, I've got a question for you. So we've had a lot of recent storms and bad weather, severe weather over the last almost 2 weeks. It's been across the country. It's kind of been amazing, the tornadoes and severe weather, hail, flooding, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that we continue to see, and we seem to get it more and more often, is when you have TV meteorologists that are coming on to talk about a tornado warning in their DMA in their area, and they're getting all these social media tweets and trolls and Facebook and everything saying, hey, put Bachelorette back on, or hey, you just busted into my NBA game, or come on, knock it out. What did you have back in the day? Did you have people harassing you for busting in on their TV shows?
Yeah, they were there then, and they're here now. Probably the same ones, or at least their daughters and sisters.
How did they do it? Like, what were you busting in on that they didn't like?
Oh, any of the popular shows. Let me tell you, I busted in on the president one time. I didn't care. They gave me the authority to do it. But the way I handled it was I never really said much about it on the air, because we, in those days, and really until recently, we answered the phones. We had like 6 phones, and the people were just calling in, and we got a lot of letters later, and then emails and such. But I never come back at them, because all I knew, it just stir them up more. But on one night, a guy called me on the phone, and I don't remember exact details on it, but he wanted to whip my butt. That's a nice way.
That's a nice way. Okay.
I was a little tired, and I was a little upset. I just said, listen, at about 6:31, I'll be through this early show, and I'll be out the back door of the station, and I'll be waiting on you. He'll take everything down. So before that time came, I found the biggest guy in the station to go.
Nice.
Paul Bunyan is what he looked like. So when 6:31 comes, we walk out the back door, and that dude's out there, and he's picking.
He was out there?
He took one look and took off. It was just beautiful. Just beautiful. God.
Wow.
What is wrong with people? God.
But people are gonna be mad about anything. Haters hate. That's their job. But I never did attack them on the air. I just stirred them up.
Yeah,
And
it does.
I kind of lost his Google, but I understand. But
Well,
Did you
that guy
guys
in
hear?
Dayton.
Yeah, did you hear about that guy in Dayton?
yeah,
I forget his name.
I don't know.
He's like, I've had it with you people. I'm like, wow.
Some guy's gonna come up and find him in a bar and beat his thumbs.
Yeah.
You gotta be so careful. We used to have so many threats, death threats, all kinds of things.
Yep.
And as many times, I don't know how many times, they send the police home with me. Police stay at my house all night.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Then I had one employee that went kind of a little wacky. And my name was, but anyway, I went on vacation in California, and my neighbor told me when I got back, he said, your weatherman has been in your backyard, he and his wife.
What?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Wow.
So anyway, crazy stuff. One night I got out of my car at home, opened the door, and there was a dude right in my door. And fortunately, he just wanted to follow me home and talk. But so since that time, I've been very aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
That weatherman was at like part of the Mile High Club, only the Gary England Club.
If something like that. Did you join that club?
No.
Jeez.
How about half mile?
If I hike a mountain.
Yeah, because I mean, think about how scary it could be for you, and you're a man. Think about how these women meteorologists are, and some of the stuff they tell the women. I mean,
they just got to be so careful, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of bad people out there, and it's tough for the girls, tough for some of the guys too. And I didn't like it because I didn't get much sleep.
So, Gary, I got a question for you. So, 40 years, that's a long time to be in the business. As you look back, is there anything you're like, man, I wish I would have done this or gone to see that? Or
I wish I told that a-hole off.
I did buy me an automatic shotgun. And
No kid. Wow, nice.
Wow.
Getting interesting.
Yeah, it's fast, what, the way I've looked at it, as mentioned, my vacations were always interrupted by severe weather. I always came back. I don't regret that at all, because it really, really paid off. I just, I don't think I would change anything in my past, because it might change everything.
Right.
You change one thing in your past, whether it's a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a car, whatever it is, it might disrupt whatever the flow is going to be. So I've liked my life most of the time, so I wouldn't change anything.
I didn't mean to turn this into an obituary or anything here.
Have another drink.
There you go. Hey, Gary, I've got one of our viewers, Danny Joyce, asks about the last couple of weeks. We've had a very, very active storm pattern, and wondering what your thoughts are on that and how that might compare to anything in those 40 years.
I always try to put a little humor into everything. So part of my answer is every time I saw those tornadoes going across the plains and the warnings, people jumping and all that stuff, I was thinking, better them than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them handle it. I handled all those years. What was your question?
And any thoughts about the how active it was, and how does that compare to anything from your time?
I'm not good at looking back at. stats, but I know, what was it? When you had the 300, how many people killed? 300 people in the eastern half of the country.
Yeah.
The jumbo outbreak.
Yeah. Was that
yeah,
the, what, 2011?
I don't know. I think it was
Or even before that, 90.
05, 04.
Okay.
Anyway, something I don't. But anyway, we've had sometimes here in Oklahoma 115, I think 115 tornadoes in a year. We may break that, but it's been broken before.
Sure.
There haven't been a lot of tornadoes the last couple of years, and these come along. And I went to the doctor the other day, and the nurse said, these storms are getting worse. They're dispersed all the time. They're terrible, terrible. They are. I said, they are terrible, but they're probably not much different than they had 4,000 years ago. You know,
Sure.
we don't know what it can do. But I think it's an incredible outbreak. I really think a lot of people were saved by the fact that the intensities were at the top. You know, there's a lot of fours, a few fours, sure. 2 or 3 fours, and a lot of threes. And a lot of the ones they caught in Oklahoma this year have been almost whirlwinds, very small, which is good. Sure. And, you know, most tornadoes you can survive in a, you know, EF 1, 2, 3s, 4 starts getting a little bit questionable. If it's a 5, you better have a place planned you can go. Mm-hmm. But I just think this outbreak was very, very unusual. But it was just a setup. You got that big trough out to our west. I haven't checked the temperatures in those levels at 500 millibar, but I suspect it's a little bit colder than it has been. So warm air on the surface, the colder it gets aloft, the more rapid the storms explode. The CAPE, the convective available potential energy the other day was, what was it, 5,000, 5,500? Wow. It's just like putting, you know, jet fuel in a little tiny go-kart. It was just blowing up like crazy. It was amazing, very unusual. They all appeared very large. A lot of them were very large, but I always caution everybody, a lot of time a tornado can look large, and that doesn't say intensity. And if you have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, they may look larger than they really are. But it was a wild one, and somebody will do a report on studying how it compares to the past.
Sure.
It was a dandy, let me tell you.
Sure. Thank you.
You ever been on the air when there's a tornado coming towards maybe like some relatives of yours, and you get kind of preoccupied because you're like, man, I really want to make sure they're watching, or somebody give them a call or something like that, where you just had that happen?
Well, you know, I expect people to watch. They have to have shared responsibility for themselves. So I never worried about them. I just thought, you know, you guys know you can take care of yourself. You stay weather aware. Check it. You have a morning, check your app, check whatever, check the forecast. Do the same thing again at night. You do all those things, and you stay weather aware. But you know, we had one come over the station. It wasn't small. It comes to the southwest. Doppler on wheels in Oklahoma City was on 63rd Street. We're basically on the north of 63rd Street. And we were so busy, and you have to have tunnel vision. We were just doing the warnings. And Val Castro was over there, about 2 miles from us. He said, "Gary, it's coming to the station." I said, "What'd you say, Val?" He said, "It's coming to the station." And we had a live truck over there. And about the time he said that, they also had the live truck on the screen, and a big rear flank downdraft came around. Power flashes just lit up the entire sky. And it was happening. The engineer of ours, great guy, his hat's off like this, you know, with the baseball hat, the front stuff like that. And he's a big guy. You see him run through the shot, just running, trying to get out of the way. And it made great television. But then at that point, as soon as he said it's coming to the station, I yelled, "Get everybody out of here!" And then one of the engineers ran right through. Then yelled, "Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!" And so I said, "Get everybody out!" And Jed Castles jumped under a desk. I said, "Jed, that's not gonna do it. Get out of here." So got everybody out, and then finally everybody's out, and I started walking down the hall. I figured it was over with by then, and walked down to where everybody was. They looked like a bunch of penguins. We had them in this little tiny room there, and they couldn't squat, so they're standing together. And we all would have been killed in there, I'm sure. But it came down about a quarter of a mile of the station to our northeast. They rated, I think, 175, 200 miles an hour, whatever it was. It was
gosh.
And you talk about noise, you couldn't hear a thing in the TV station. The whole place was vibrating, and of course the tower's right there, and the sound. Oh God, it was quite a night.
So do you stop broadcasting them when it's coming at the station? Because I mean, those rooms are not tornado proof, definitely.
No, they're not. Well, you know how I handle that? I said, "Val, you keep talking." He was right there. That's the only time we've been knocked off the air, power's gone out and stuff going around. We shut down then, but we never shut down until we're about to die.
It's taking the roof off. All right, we'll be back in 5.
That's it.
Hey, last question for you, Gary, before we move on. But so just May 27th and 28th. So we had 2 EF4 tornadoes, one in Dayton, Ohio, one in Linwood, Lawrence, Kansas area. And out of those 2, I don't think we had any deaths. Did we? Did we have, Dina? Did we have any deaths?
Dayton, the Dayton one.
One in Dayton.
Yeah, one in Dayton.
One in Dayton.
Yeah.
So 2 large populations, major storms. How do you attest the fact that we only had 1 death out of all that?
Well, if I looked at the track of the one that came west of Kansas City.
Yes.
What was the town it hit?
That Linwood hit Linwood, Kansas.
Yeah.
The track across there where the tornado was on the ground, there were hardly any houses. There were some, but if it had gone a mile or 2 north, it would have come across hundreds of thousands of people, probably been a major disaster. Because of the F4, it would have been incredible. But I just think we have better equipment nowadays, better meteorologists out there, and obviously people are paying a little more attention. They have their little iPhones with the warnings on it, so that had to help. That's the only thing I can credit to is if they've been F4s in densely populated people, it'd be terrible.
Better meteorologist. What are you saying, Gary?
Better than me.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, hey, that's the sound. It is time for our lightning round, Gary. If you remember from last show, this is our game show of flashy questions we have with our guest. Okay. We always invite our listeners to play along. But tonight, Gary, we're going to your home state, and we're going to play a little game. We call it high or low. High or low. So high or low. So here's what it's based upon. This is going to be the top 10 Oklahoma food staples. So, these are the top 10 here in Oklahoma. These are foods that you just can't live without or are known to Oklahoma. And this is from the lostogle.com. But there's a list of 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name one. And I'm going to give you where it stands in the top 10. But it's the wrong answer. So you have to tell me, is that food, is it higher or lower than the number I gave you on the list?
Well, my personal opinion will be in this. Go ahead.
Okay, well, who knows? That's what we might have here. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with, let's do fried catfish. Fried catfish as an Oklahoma food staple at number 2. Now it's not actually sitting at number 2. Do you think the number for fried catfish is higher or lower than 2?
I think it's lower.
Think it's lower? Mm-hmm. You would be correct. Fried catfish is number 5.
Yeah, he was going with the odds.
Number 5 on that one. Yep, that was a good start. All right, you ready for the next one? The Theta Burger. The Theta Burger is number 6, but that's not where it really sits in the top 10 list. What is a Theta? Do you know what a Theta Burger is?
No, I don't know.
Theta Burger. Okay.
I never heard of it either.
I looked this up, and apparently it's had something to do with some. Obviously, fraternity. It's a college thing.
Sorority.
Oh.
But it's a burger with shredded cheddar, barbecue, and pickles.
Sounds good so far.
But it's called a Theta Burger.
Sounds
but
right.
number 6, is the Theta Burger higher or lower than number 6?
I think it's lower.
Yeah.
You think it's lower?
Yeah.
That's correct. Theta Burger is number 10 on the top 10 list. So good job. All right. Let's do this one. We're going to hit free cheese sauce with the setup. Free cheese sauce with the setup, which apparently has something to do with Tex-Mex restaurants and cheese that you get, dipping cheese you get with your tortilla chips.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this is apparently an Oklahoma food staple. This one's number 6, but it's not really number 6. Higher or lower?
Oh, it's so weird. It's probably higher.
That's your definite. Okay, well, you were correct. Number 4.
I know those Lost Ogle guys. I know how that works.
Okay, number 4, free cheese sauce with the setup. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Calf fries. Do you know what calf fries are?
Absolutely.
What are they?
They're good.
What are they?
Well, you got to cut them out.
Okay.
Cut
Cut 'em
them
out.
off,
No.
wash 'em off, and you take them in, you fry them.
Okay. So it's like the
Like
yeah.
testicle, I guess you call it testicles.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Calf testicle.
Oh, calf.
Calf.
Yeah.
You got the cat.
CALF.
Okay.
Cat fries. Yeah, no, that's a Nebraska thing, I think. Naz.
Easy.
Is that what you had in Nebraska? No.
PETA on us here.
We do. Okay. So calf fries, number 8. Is it higher or lower than number 8, Gary?
It's higher.
It is. It's number 7.
Wow.
One up.
Oh, one up.
Calf fries, number 7. Okay, here we got another one. Let's go with the onion burger.
Oh,
Do you know what an onion burger?
Yeah.
Pretty okay. I'm gonna say number 3. Is it higher or lower than number 3 on the list?
I don't know, but you can smell it for days after you have it. Number 3. Maybe it's pretty close to a 3, I think.
So you think it's higher or lower than 3 because it's not 3?
Oh, I don't know if it'd be 1 or 2. Maybe 2.
You think it's higher than 3?
I think it's higher than 3.
You're correct.
yeah.
It actually is number 1. Onion burger
Wow.
is number 1 on the
Good
top
job.
Oklahoma food staples. Let's do this. We'll do one more. Chicken fried steak.
Oh yeah.
Chicken
yeah.
fried steak. 5. Is chicken fried steak higher or
It's
lower
higher
than 5?
Higher than 5.
You would be correct. That is number 2. You didn't get any wrong, did you?
got them all right.
Right.
Oh,
he
my
hasn't got any
goodness.
wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome. Might be a first.
Yeah, I know Oklahoma and I know the people.
That
So
was
this survey-
That was good.
Survey brought to you by Lipitor or something there?
Yeah, there's some good food. Good. Here, I'll catch the other ones too. Number 3 was an Indian taco.
Oh yeah, they're popular.
What is that? What's an Indian taco?
Oh, it's like a big tortilla. It's got beans and the hamburger meat. And, oh, God, it's really good.
Wow,
Really?
Indian taco. Okay.
taco.
Number 6. Number 6 was cornbread.
I don't know.
Sure.
Number 8 was ranch dressing. You guys are big fans of the ranch dressing in Oklahoma.
I guess so. I didn't really know
You
that.
didn't know? Okay. And then number 9 was fried pies. Fried pies?
Oh.
That's like a southern thing.
That's made with cats, right?
Fried cat
At the
pies.
state fair, they have fried cokes.
Oh God.
Oh man, Gary. Well, hey, thanks for playing along. Tell our listeners how they can find you on social media and track
It's
what's
pretty
going on in Oklahoma City.
Because on Twitter it's Gary E. Garye at Cox.net. And
That's your email.
no, that's my name. That's on Twitter. That's how you find me.
Twitter, Gary E.
Gary E.
It's at Gary E. at Cox.net.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So that's where you find me there. On Facebook, it's just Gary England or Gary A. England or Gary Twister England. I think I have 3 of them.
Wow.
Well, I did that because they
One's not enough, huh?
Well, they don't let you have 5,000 people on one.
Oh.
Ah.
So, and then people get mad.
Interesting.
People get mad about that. I'll tell them I'm sorry. I can't add anybody.
Sorry. Take your bitching somewhere else.
I was gonna say, Gary, you wouldn't let me on, buddy.
I
right.
think that needs to be the title. Take your bitching somewhere else.
Take your bitching somewhere else. All right, hey, we're gonna go ahead and take our final break with our tornado talk segment. They're gonna cover the story of the 1953 Worcester F4 tornado, and we'll be right back with our weather fools. So we'll see you right around the corner. All right, Gary, thank you so much, sir.
Thank
You guys
you,
have a
Gary.
good one.
You are outstanding.
I'm gonna have this thing fixed before I do it again.
Okay. Well, we'll have you on again sometime.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get you fixed again.
The episode 130 by my calculations. Isn't that 250 more from 32 or something?
Hey, no, I do appreciate it, Gary. You were awesome. So thank you so much,
Always
sir.
nice seeing you.
Have a great night.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Gary. Good
Good
seeing
night.
you.
All right. Any of our other viewers or listeners got any questions or comments or?
No, Timothy says it would take a lot of cat fries to make a meal.
Is that cat with a T?
He said cat. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Cat
Okay,
fries.
all right.
Yeah, it's not little protein there, but little
Yeah.
emphasize a little
Yeah, right.
Little furball.
on that. Oh gosh. Okay. Weather Fools time. So Maz, this is yours.
Okay.
I got one.
You got one? All right, Dina.
I've got one.
I know
two,
Phil's got at least
three,
one.
4,
I know what it is,
5.
too.
I've got 5.
Oh wow.
How many are you gonna do?
I'll do them all, dude. I'll rip them out.
All right.
Wow, you're really on fire.
Well, I've been collecting them, and I just gotta get rid of them. So we're gonna rip it out.
You gotta bookmark those and then keep them for other
Yeah,
shows.
and that's what I do. But I just keep I get more than one a week. Or more than one in 2 weeks. I can find pretty easily.
Is any one of them from Facebook? The lady who was videotaping the tornado.
The lady that was videotaped.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if it had made it out to you.
Let's see. No, I don't. Not of the 5 I'm gonna cover.
Okay, all right. Because I was just like, you idiot, get inside. Some people are so lucky. Let's just put it that way.
It was okay. It was
You
a
know.
lady. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so just the two of you then. Very good.
Two of us.
Episode 80. Show notes.
Episode 80. Yep. And then Freak Fan Box. Do we got anything?
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So we'll have that, and then we'll close it up, and we will be done.
Beautiful. App has 2 P's right there, Phil.
App has 2 P's.
I heard you say that earlier, and I was like, doesn't it always have 2
Is
P's?
that like saying www?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Is that like overkill?
That'd be W with 2 more W's.
Over explanation? I don't have to explain that app has 2 P's. I don't know.
All right.
All right, so we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Maz, count you in. 3, 2.
All right, welcome back. Time now for Weather Fools, and there is just a whole boatload of them going on this week. So we're going to start things off with Dina before we get to the War and Peace version with Phil, okay?
All right, so this one is on Twitter, and it was from Justin. It's at JK124K. He doesn't really say where this is, but it gets the National Weather Service in Cleveland. Mainly, it's, again, people driving through flooded roads. Wow. And you know, I've done a lot of these in the past where people drive through floods, but I mean, come on. Stop it.
Yeah, you know, I saw a lot of this out around Kansas and Kansas City along the Missouri River that runs through there. There was tons of flooding just like this, where it was not the interstate, but it was the lower country roads down beneath, and a lot of them were closed. But this is what you saw. I just didn't see actually cars and semi trucks barreling through it like this. That
looks like
so
an interstate.
stupid.
Yeah, that did look like an interstate.
Which it could be. Yeah, it could have been. Which is why stupid people were being even more stupid. Oh, I got to get there. I don't know how to get around it. I'm just going to go.
I just saw Interstate 29 in like Iowa, Nebraska area along the Missouri River shut down indefinitely. That's how bad the flooding is.
Yeah,
it's just
so
like
bad.
just closed until further notice. Like,
but
wow.
That's the one thing, like, that's so preventable. Turn around, dummy.
Yeah.
Is that the slogan? Is that how it goes now?
Turn around, dummy. That should be.
Turn around,
no more.
turn around, dummy.
No more nice guy.
But I mean, it's not like you got caught in a tornado. It's not like you got anything. It's like, or you slipped on ice. You went through it. You're not driving a boat. I don't get it.
Preach it. All right.
Preach it, baby.
All right, Phil, you don't have 1 or 2 or how many do you have?
Well, I started with 5, but the one that Dina just showed was one of them.
Oh yeah, we're down to 4.
So we're down to 4.
Go to work tomorrow, so how many do you got?
So I'm going to be quick. The first one is actually one that I personally saw. So out chasing this past weekend, and I was on that EF4 tornado that hit. Was right by Lawrence, Kansas, and hit Linwood. Well, it also went right over or right by Bonner Springs, Kansas. So I'm showing you right now the velocity radar at the point that it was going by Bonner Springs. And I'm going to use my mouse here to kind of show you there's a blue line. This is interstate, I think this is I-70 that goes to Kansas City. And I was right there on the exit of I-70 and, I don't know, is that 7? Like Highway 7 or something like that. I was right there because I thought, well, hey, I can then jump right on I-70 and kind of go east, a little northeast to get ahead of it, right? No. So listen to this. I was fine. And it was starting to come, and there were more and more law enforcement. Now, I don't know if they were state patrol, if they were police, if they were sheriff. I didn't take the time to look to see where they were all coming from. But all of a sudden, when I'm like, okay, this thing's starting to get close, I'm going to jump on, and I'm going to head east. That's when all these law enforcement officers started freaking out. And I'm sure there was someone on the radio saying, okay, you gotta block I-70, or you gotta whatever. So they blocked East I-70. They blocked the exit. They were all of a sudden, when I pulled right up, and that's when they started doing it, was right when I got there. And they were freaking out and going, go south to Bonner Springs.
Oh, jeez.
And they were sending everybody right to Bonner Springs. And I'm going, guys, that's where the circulation is. Do not send people south. Let's go east. No, go. And they were just screaming because they were freaking out. And I mean, I get it. It was a high stressful situation. It was coming. It was getting close. But oh my God, what a bad decision. And so I had nothing to do. So I actually turned to head south to Bonner Springs. It started just pouring. It was a torrential downpour, just happened immediately. And I stopped because I'm like, I can't go. If I go south, there's really nowhere to go east from there. And I'm not going to go into the circulation now in a torrential downpour. I ended up turning around, and I ended up on I-70. I crossed some medians and things like that. But so I got on. But anyway, weather fool, first off, was whatever Oklahoma law enforcement that was.
Well, maybe they had some bad intel or something.
Oh, yeah, well, they had to have. I mean, they had to have, because I'm sure someone was just saying, hey, send them south. I think I heard him say to one of the other officers while I was sitting there trying to tell him no, that they thought it was going right over, like, following I-70, so they didn't want to send people on I-70, but that's not really where it was. But anyway, all right, then another weather fool. So this is in St. Louis. St. Louis hockey fans didn't let a tornado warning stop them. It says, while the tornado warning was luckily lifted after the puck drop in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals, some St. Louis fans were irked to be interrupted by an alert on their phones and televisions. And this was a tornado that was heading right to St. Louis, and there was a playoff game, and people were getting all pissed off that there's this tornado warning coming, and I don't know if they delayed the game a little bit or not, but I mean, people were pissed off. And it's like,
don't mess with my hockey.
I guess
just have the Dayton weather guy tell them off.
That's right. Yeah, we'll have him do that.
I'm sick of
all right, next weather fool. This is at Paul Knightley. Now, Paul's not our weather fool here.
And he's not related to me.
No, and he's not. Yeah, he's not related to Dina. He's a chaser, and he actually had some footage. I can't remember if it was tornado footage or flood footage or something, but I remember seeing this on Twitter. And apparently, Good Morning America used his video off of his Twitter feed, used it without his permission. And he saw it, and he caught it, and he called him out on Twitter and tagged him and said, hey, and tagged Ginger Z on it. And Ginger Z did respond, and she said, hey, I'll check with my producers and blah, blah, blah. And what happened later was they came to some amicable monetary agreement, I'm sure, because he did come back and say, okay, everything's good.
And it better be good.
Right. Well, good for Ginger.
So here's a big, well, yeah, good for her, because she obviously didn't know, but here's a major, ABC news that's just grabbing people's footage right off of Twitter without permission. And then the last one I got for you, this is at Tom Radar TV on Twitter. I don't think this was his footage, but it said, wild, intense video shared to me by a man in the Valley Ponds development as he sees a tornado approach his home. And so he's in between two subdivision homes. He's like in a small little space. And literally, here's a tornado, not overly strong, but it took a tree down. It's got debris flying all over the place. He finally goes inside. He was taping this outside on his phone. He goes inside, he's like screaming, oh my God, and I think he ends up looking outside. He eventually goes to the window, and he sees debris and everything. He goes to his window. This tornado is still happening, and there's debris. There's part of the roof is gone, and he's by a window at the same time. So just guys, there kind of comes a point in time where you got to stop being stupid.
It's
I
like
guess.
a million little bullets coming at you with that window.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Don't be dumb. Turn around. What was that?
Hey, I was wearing my helicity.co
Are you serious?
Weather Fool shirt when I was chasing that FEF4 on Tuesday.
All right.
Yeah.
You didn't get my joke.
What'd you say?
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
I got that shirt.
You got that shirt too?
I do.
Yeah, that's good.
Is it the My Radar? Is that the one?
No,
Oh.
that's another Helicity shirt. Gotcha. Which, by the way, guys, is a little plug. Go to helicity.co. They got some great weather gear, including exclusive line of Stormfront Freaks stuff. And if you use the code SFF at checkout, you're going to get an automatic 10% discount on your entire order. So
sweet.
Yeah, I'll throw that in there as well.
Well, that worked out well with that timing now, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Thanks for that plug. All right, Maz, close us out.
Oh, I totally forgot. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, so in case you want to check out any of that video, you can check us out, stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 80 show notes, or on your podcast app.
Wonderful. Okay, hey, it's time for our Freak Fan Box.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail, baby, yeah.
All right, MJ, what do we got in our mailbag?
Let's reach in the box and see what we've got. Christopher Bjorkwall at Storm Chasing USA, that's easier to say, says, how about this beer as a drink for your next podcast? It's called Twisted Twin by High Nose Brew, a microbrewery in Sweden. And he sent a pic, and we'll put this in the show notes. And it's a cool looking can with sporting some twin twisters. So
what's it called? Twin?
It's called Twisted Twin.
Twisted Twin.
I have twins. I gotta have it.
By
I may have to go to
Brew.
Jungle Gyms, see if you can find. They got like 4,000 beers there.
Are you MJ? Did you take me off? Are you on? Or am I still showing to everybody here?
I still see you.
Yeah, it's not working.
Take me off. It's not.
Okay, I fixed it, but
all right.
What was that?
I don't know. I'm on camera the whole time.
We like your face.
Pause for editing. All right, and Lunalite Christine from Germany, our one of our favorite fans, sent us something we were talking about on the May 16th show, severe weather education sites, and she sent a link to one from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. It's a severe weather probability modeling site with a whole lot of information, and it's really neat. There's no way I can describe it without getting, as Phil says, really sciencey, and it's things I don't understand anyway because I'm not a meteorologist. But I think a lot of people who do chasing and who are meteorologists would like it a lot, and we'll put that in the show notes as well. It's cimss.ssec.wisc.edu. So we'll put it in the show notes.
What was that middle letter?
I missed
Thanks,
it.
Lunalite.
Yes, that was
awesome.
Very nice. So that's what we got. You want to converse with us? You want to send us some things? Check into facebook.com/stormfrontfreaks, or on Twitter, we're at stormfrontfreak, or if you want to do the email, questions@stormfrontfreaks.com. We're happy to talk about what you have to say.
Good job,
Very good.
MJ. Good job.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail, baby.
You like that, Dina? You didn't hear that last time, did
No,
you?
I didn't. So I was like,
Nice.
ooh,
I knew it
kinda
was
digging
all right.
it.
So that about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for listening or watching. Before I reveal our next guest, if you enjoy the show, do us a favor. Leave us a great review on your podcast app. We'll also share that in our Freak Fan Box next time. And don't forget to subscribe to the show. Excuse me. That came out kind of hard. We'll edit that out.
What was that?
Excuse me. I need a drink. 3, 2. And don't forget to subscribe to the show by hitting your podcast app subscribe button. Works just like a magazine or a newspaper app subscription app. It assures the latest show gets delivered right to your inbox the minute that it gets released. I'm going to make it through tonight. I will, I promise. I do want to say a special thanks to our guest tonight and friend Gary England.
Yeah.
He's fun. Good time. So, and our next episode in 2 weeks, we'll be recording on June 13th as part of our Coast to Coast with your favorite TV meteorologist series. We're going to have Eddie Scher on from NTV News in Newfoundland, Canada.
Cool.
He's going to be with us. You get Canadian, eh? We're going to get some more Canadians on the show. You betcha. And if you'd like to watch the recording live, it's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Just go to our YouTube channel and search Stormfront Freaks. So for MJ...
Are they in the same time zone?
Newfoundland?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are they in the Eastern time zone?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. All right.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
I could be
they're
wrong.
in the Newfoundland time zone, you know? Yeah, sure. All right. So for MJ, Maz, and Dina, yes, I'm signaling the all clear. And we're going to catch you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Finally, we got to get out of this bad boy. Okay.
Oh.
Gary's always fun.
Gary.
He's the story king.
He is.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
He was. So we were doing the sound check last night, and he's getting up and down. He's plugging crap into his computer, and he's just cursing up a storm, and I'm just laughing. And I said what did I say? I wrote it down. Oh, I said, did you put, because he's trying to plug in his headphone jack but not put it in the microphone jack, and he said, I might have stuck it in the wrong hole. And he started laughing. He said, but I'm not going to go into detail about that.
Wait, was he talking about one of his former weather people and wife did it in his backyard? Is that what he was trying to say? Did I misinterpret that?
Yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't sure what the whole
I wasn't sure what that
reference
was either.
I was like,
Somebody was doing something in his backyard, I think.
What the heck?